Вон, воин наебашился. Хуя ты. Нормально там все встанешь? Да, конечно, хули. Чисто я запечатлел. Тебя что, на побывку отпустили, да? Давай.
Дай руку.
Давай. Даешь, нахуй. Давай.
Пиздец.
Тебя на побывку отпустили, что ли?
Ага.
Ты хуя ты, пошли. Хуя ты ушел. Наша армия сильна.
Russia is losing this war. On one side, Ukraine is fighting with its full strength against Russia, and on the other side, the Russian army is getting weaker day by day. Recently, Russian soldiers were seen in a completely drunken state. When some people asked them what had happened, they said, "When we were drunk, they lured us with promises of debt relief, forced us to sign a military contract, and then told us we had to go to the front line." That is how they ended up there. And this is not an isolated incident. If you search on the internet, you will find a long list of similar cases. All of this shows that there is almost no real discipline left inside the Russian army. This is how Russia is recruiting soldiers now. The Kremlin's target is to recruit around 0.5 million new soldiers by the end of this year. For that, they use messaging apps like Telegram, group chats, and news alerts to push out offers for frontline contracts. Many of these men are sent straight to the front with little or no real training. On top of that, they are tempted with signing bonuses of up to $50,000, debt write-offs, free childcare for their families, and guaranteed university admission for their children. These offers are used to pull them into the army. Normally, when a soldier is recruited into any army, there are some basic standards. These standards may differ from country to country, but they always exist. In today's Russia, those standards have almost disappeared. Even people with a criminal record, serious illnesses, and in some cases, those living with HIV/AIDS are being taken into the army. Boys who are orphans or completely uneducated are being pushed straight to the front lines. This is probably one of the main reasons why Russian losses are so high. According to some well-known analysts, in the Russia-Ukraine war, for every one Ukrainian soldier killed, around 5 Russian soldiers are dying. Russia is a country that has fought more than 100 wars in its history, yet today it looks weak in front of Ukraine. All of this clearly suggests that Vladimir Putin does not have any clear plan to win this war, and he is not interested in peace either. With his stubborn attitude and disastrous policies, Putin is only creating more and more problems for ordinary people. He still believes that in the end he will defeat Ukraine, and he regularly receives reports that reinforce this belief. Many times, senior Russian military officers have been seen boasting that they have achieved big victories in the war, but on the ground, no such major success is visible. For a long time now, Putin has not been able to secure any real strategic victory. He is mainly targeting Ukrainian cities and infrastructure. The 4 regions that he wants to fully control could still take around 5 more years to completely occupy. Because of this stubborn approach and these failed policies, the number of Russians dying in this war has risen sharply in recent months. Some observers say that if Russian casualties continue at this pace, the total number of Russian deaths could reach into the millions in the coming years. If we look at broad estimates of total deaths on both sides in the Russia-Ukraine war so far, including soldiers and civilians, many assessments already place the combined toll somewhere around 1.5 to 2 million people. Russia is not only using its own citizens, it is also targeting people from over 100 countries who come to Russia to study or to look for work. They are offered money, the promise of a good job, signing bonuses of up to $50,000, and even Russian citizenship in exchange for signing a military contract. After a short crash course in basic training, many of them are sent directly to the front lines. As we explained in our previous video, this is how Russia is slowly turning itself into a kind of open-air prison, with Putin acting more and more like a dictator. If you have not watched that video yet, do check it out. On top of that, in the Ukrainian territories occupied by Russia, ordinary people are being threatened, intimidated, and manipulated into joining the Russian army. We have already covered these forced recruitment practices in detail in our earlier videos. By doing all of this, Putin is actually weakening the Russian army from within. But Russia's weakness is not limited to recruitment alone. If we look at the technical side of the Russian military today, the picture becomes even darker. Ukraine is receiving high-tech drones, precision artillery, modern air defense systems, and satellite intelligence from Western countries. In contrast, Russia is increasingly forced to rely on old tanks, Soviet-era ammunition taken out of storage, and equipment that is badly maintained or not repaired at all. Multiple reports show that Russia is sending tanks from the 1960s and 70s to the battlefield, simply because a large part of its modern equipment has been destroyed or is no longer available. This is not the sign of a confident great power army, but of a tired and worn-out force. Another major weak point for Russia is morale. Soldiers who are dragged to the front under pressure, drunk, trapped by debt, and tempted with money, cannot be expected to fight a high-intensity war with full discipline and motivation. A truly professional army is built on serious training, strong morale, and a clear understanding of why they are fighting. In today's Russia, many soldiers do not even know whether they are dying for the real security of their country or just for the personal ego of one man in the Kremlin. That is why, as this war drags on, Russia is suffering huge losses every single month. If you look at any serious analytical reporting, one pattern is obvious. Russian casualties are consistently higher than Ukrainian casualties. And this is not just about numbers. It is also about quality. Experienced officers, tank crews, and special forces units, the kind of professionals that take years to train, are being wiped out in a matter of months. The true strength of any military is not only its tanks, but its trained people. Russia is losing those people very fast. In simple words, Putin has trapped himself in a dead end in this war against Ukraine. The Russian army is getting weaker with time. On the surface, Putin tries to look calm and in control, but the reality inside Russia clearly shows that the country is heading towards serious military, economic, and political crises in the years ahead. What is your opinion on this situation? Do you think Russia can still turn this war around? Or is Putin already on the path to a slow defeat? Tell us in the comments. And yes, don't forget to watch our full Russia-Ukraine playlist. Many of the warnings and predictions we made earlier are now visibly coming true.